תשים לעולם, תשים לעולם. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lecho hashalom. אתה הוא מלך אדון, לכו השלום. שלום רב עם ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב עם ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. בטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל, בכל ליל ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. Shalom Rav HaYisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam, Tasim Leolam.
Welcome everybody, and we'll start our service in this cold February, unusual cold day. It's cold outside, but it's warm here inside. So let's start together on page 10 with the welcoming song Yedid Nefesh. Yedid Nefesh Abarachaman Beshoch Avdach El Retzonak Yarutz Avdach Kemo Ayal Ishtachabel Mul Adarach ירב לו ידידותך מנופץ צוף בכל טעם הדור נעזי בעולם נפשי חוילתה בתך אנא אלה רפנה לה בערות לנועם זיבך, אז תתחזק ותתרפא בהייתה לך שפחת עולם ותגיימו רחמך בחוסנה על בנו אבך. כי זה כמה נכסף לראות תפארת עוזך. אנא אלי מחמד ליבי חושנה ואל תתעלם. יגאלנה ופרוס חביב עלי את סוכת שלומך. תאיר ארץ מכבודך נגילה ונשמחה בך. מהר אהוב כי במועד בכונני כי מעולם. יא לילה לילה יא לילה 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 Yara lai 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 lai, yara lai 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 lai, yara lai 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 lai. We start our Kabbalah Shabbat with Psalm 95 on page 11. Lechunera nena, lechunera nena, lechunera nena, l'Adonai. Lechunera nena, lechunera nena, l'Adonai. Naria. Letzuri sheinu nekad mafana betoda. Naria. Letzuri sheinu bizmiro naria lo. Lechunera nena, lechunera nena, lechunera nena. L'Adonai lechunera nena, lechunera nena, lechunera nena, l'Adonai. Ki el gadol megadol. Middle of page 12. 40 שנה כות בדורם אומרם תועי לבבם בהם לא ידעו דרכי אשר נשבעתי באפי אם יבואון אל מנוחתי. 13. שירו לאדוני שירו שיר חדש שירו לאדוני כל הארץ שירו לאדוני שירו שיר חדש שירו לאדוני כל הארץ שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו בסרו מיום ליום ישועתו שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו בסרו מיום ליום ישועתו. ספרו ידין עמים מישרים. Middle of page 14. ישמחו השמיים השמיים ישמחו השמיים השמיים ישמחו השמיים בתגל הארץ. עירם הים עירם הים עירם הים ומלוא עירם הים עירם הים עירם הים ומלוא יעלוס שדי בכל אשר בו אז ירננו כל הצייר לפני אדוני כי בא לשפוט הארץ ישפוט תבל בצדק בעמים באמונתו. אדוני מלך תגל הארץ ישמחו עם רבים ענם בערפל. Se va a hacer conmigo que soy. Middle of page 16. אוהבי אדוני סינורה שומר נפשות חסידם מיד רשעים יצילם אור. זרו על הצדיק ולשרי לב שמחה שמחו צדיקים באדוני והודו לזכר קודשו. מזמור. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש כי נפלאות עשה הושיע לו ימינו וזרוע קודשו. לפני אדוני כי בא לשפוט הארץ ישפוט תבל בצדק בעמים במישרים. Adonai reigns, nations tremble. The one enthroned amidst the cherubim makes the world quake. Bottom of page 20. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו בהשתחוו להר קודשו רוממו אדוני אלוהינו בהשתחוו להר קודשו כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו רוממו כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו רוממו. Page 21 for Psalm 29, מזמור לדוד. מזמור לדוד, אבו לאדוני, בן אלים, אבו לאדוני, כבוד בעוז, אבו לאדוני, כבוד שמו, השתחוו לאדוני, בהדרת קודש. כל אדוני על המים, אל הכבוד ירים, אדוני על מים, על מים רבים. כל אדוני בכוח, כל אדוני בהדר, כל אדוני שובר ארזים, וישבר אדוני את ארזי הלבנון, וירקידם כמו עגל לבנון בסיריון, כמו בן רמים. כל אדוני חוצב להבות אש, כל אדוני יכיל מדבר, יכיל אדוני מדבר קדש. כל אדוני יחולל איילות, ויחסום יערות, ובהיכלו כולו אומר כבוד, כולו אומר, כולו כבוד אדוני למבול ישב, וישב אדוני מלך לעולם, אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. Let's turn to page 23 to welcome together the Shabbat. Singing Lecha Dodi, we're going to sing 2 stanzas and then the refrain, so remember that. Page 23. Yainai narai nai 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 yainai narai nai 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 yainai narai nai 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 yainai narai nai 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 yainai narai nai 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 yainai narai nai 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 Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה שמור בזכור בדיבורך השמיענו אל עם יוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשם ולתפארת בלתילה לקראת שבת לכו בנהלך כי היא מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נצוחה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה קומי צאי מתוך האפך רעב לך שבת בעמק אבכה בהו יחמול עלייך חמלה יתנער עמיה פרקו מלבשי בגדי תפארתך עמי על יד בן ישי ביתה לך מקורבה אל נפשי גאלה Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה פני nekabela itoreri kiba ore kummi uri shir daveri kevod Adonai alaich nigla lo teboshi bello tikal mimatish tochachi umateimi bach yechesu ani yami beniv neta'ir al tilalecha dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה והיו למשיסה שוסייך ברחקו כל מבלייך יסיס עלייך אלוהיך כמסוס חתן על כלה ימין ושמאל תפרוצי בית אדוני תעריצי על ידיש בן פרצי בן נשמחה בן נגילה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה בואי בשלום עטרת בלגם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה.
Be seated as we continue on page 27 with the song for the Sabbath day. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, באמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור בעלינה, עלי היגיון בכינור. מזמור
שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון.
צדיק אתה אמר יפרח כארץ בלבנון יזכה שתולים
בבית אדוני בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו עוד ינובון דשבע דשנים ורעננים יהיו להגיד כי ישר אדוני צורי ולא עוולתה בו.
So as you know, at this point in our service, we always take a few moments in between the Kabbalat Shabbat and Ma'ariv to reflect upon the days, the week that has passed, to have a chance to pause and reflect upon life itself. It's beautiful writing, a beautiful description of Shabbat. Compares it to the pauses between the notes, or when an artist steps back and looks at the painting in order to be able to process what has happened. But before we do that, I have to just say, I'm looking at it, what's different?
Wearing glasses.
That's what it is. Okay. So Evan got new glasses this week, so we can think about that. But
I usually don't wear glasses.
But you look like 10 years younger with those glasses, by the way. You look like a kid. So I'm just staring here. So as we're thinking about the week that's passed, Evan somehow lost 10 years of his life, and it looks like a little kid. So anyway, but yeah. So but let us take these moments wherever our thoughts, our hearts, our dreams may take us, our reflections, and I cherish these moments. I hope you do as well, for us to pray silently. רצון אמרי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני צורי וגואלי אדוני צורי וגואלי. With that, we turn now to page 39 in our Sidurim, and we rise for the Baruch.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך.
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה. God makes day pass into night and distinguish day from night. ובעביר יום ומביא לילה, מבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, אמרי ברבים. Page 40. אהבת עולם, בית ישראל, עמך אהבת, תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו באורך ימינו, באורך ימינו, ובהם נהגה יומם בלילה, יומם בלילה. באהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעמים, ברוך אתה אדוני. אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאותה על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך, ובשעריך מהים. Adonai Elohechem emet, emet b'emuna kol zot, b'kayam aleinu, ki hu Adonai Eloheinu, ואין זולתו ואנחנו ישראל, עמו הפועל מן המלכים מלכנו. Page 44. ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ובני ישראל הכנו שירה בשמחה רבה ואמרו כולם מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נדר בקודש נורא תהילות אוסף למלכותך רבנך וגם לפני משה זה עליינו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר כי פן יעקב וגל לא מי חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גל ישראל השכיבנו. 45 all together in English. Allow us, our God, to sleep peacefully. Awaken us to life, O sovereign. Spread over us your canopy of peace. Restore us with your good counsel, and save us for the sake of your mercy. Shield us, remove from us enemies, pestilence, swords, starvation, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings. For you, God, watch over and deliver us. And you, God, are sovereign, merciful, and compassionate. Ensure our going and coming for life and peace, now and forever. May you spread over us your canopy of peace. Who spreads the canopy? Ufros aleinu sukat shelomecha baruch ata Adonai baruch ata Adonai apore sukat shalom aleinu al kol amo Israel ve'al Yerushalayim. Please rise on page 46 for Beshamru. Beshamru b'nei Israel את השבת, לעשות את השבת, לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובני ישראל. אות היא לעולם, אות היא לעולם, אות היא לעולם. בשמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת, דורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. בשמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת, לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השני שבת בי נפש, שבת בי נפש, שבת בי נפש. בשמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת, דורותם ברית עולם. יתגדל ויתקדש שם רבה, בעלמא דיברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחיי כון וביומי כון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, באמרו אמן. יש מרבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמן קודשה. בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה מנחמתה דאמירה בעלמא.
ואמרו אמן.
Silent Amidah between pages 47 and 52. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. באמרו באמרו אמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. ואמרו אמן. Page 53. ויחולו השמיים בארץ בכל צבאם, ויחי אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה. ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי, ויקדש אותו כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו, אשר ברא אלוהים, אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו אלוהי אבותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, האל הגדול הגיבור העליון, קונה שמיים בארץ, מגן אבות בדברו, מחיה מתים במעמדו. האל הקדוש שאין כמוהו, המניח לעמו ביום שבת קודשו. כי בם רצה להניח להם, כי בם רצה להניח להם, לפניו נעבוד ביראה ובפחד, ונודה לשמו בכל יום תמיד מעין הברכות. אל ההודעות אדון השלום, מקדש השבת וברך שביעי, ומניח בקדושה לעמד ושני עונג זכר למעשה בראשית. Our God and God of our ancestors, embrace our rest, make us holy through your mitzvot, and let the Torah be our portion. Fill our lives with your goodness and gladden us with your deliverance. Purify our hearts to serve you truly. And our God, lovingly and willingly grant that we inherit your holy Shabbat, that the people Israel who make your name holy may find rest in this Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh השבת. גדל ויתקדש שם רבה, בעלמא דיברה חירות ועלמות בחייכון ומכונו חייכון את ישראל בגלה בזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יש מרבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתברך ויתרומם מנשא, ביתהדר ביתהלל ביתהלל שם קדושה, בריחו לעילה מן כל בריחתה ושעתה ושפחתה ונחמתה דמירם על מה אמרו אמן. תתקבל צלותנו ואודות לכל ישראל קודם אבו וישמעיה אמרו אמן. יש להם רבה מן שמעיה וחיים עלינו על כל ישראל אמרו אמן. עושה שלום אמרו ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן.
Thank you. Well, we should refer Shlomo to Rabbi Werbin. Thank you.
An eternal cold.
Yeah. I had one, just a cough that took 3 weeks to go away. So there's light at the end of the tunnel. Anyway, Shabbat Shalom. Good to see everybody. Anybody floating any trial balloons lately or anything? I want to just share 3 brief teachings from this week's Torah portion, Parshat Mishpatim. Mishpatim, it comes right after the giving of the 10 Commandments. And in fact, it is considered to be, in some respects, a continuation of the 10 Commandments, because it begins with the words, the Ele HaMishpatim Asher Tasim Lifnehem, which means, and these are the laws which you shall place before them. It begins with an end, a conjunctive word. So what is it conjunctioning, so to speak, if there's such a word? What is it connected to? Everything that came before it. And actually, as I'm talking, I just realized what I really should talk about is the ark tonight, because this ark is meant to represent what happened at Mount Sinai. Anybody, do you guys realize that? Did everybody kind of see that? So, did you know it before? So right here, this is Mount Sinai. Okay, these are the people. That's us. Dana, you're right here. The curly hair, right there. Okay. So this is all of us, because it says, all of you are here this day, standing before the Lord your God, both those who are born and those not yet born, from the ewers of your water to the choppers of the wood, the infants and everything. So we're all there at Mount Sinai. And then is where the Torah is given. And what do the people respond when they receive the Torah? When they're asked, will you accept this Torah? They say, Na'aseh v'nishma. We will do and we will listen. And so they accept the Torah. And according to, of course, as we read the Torah, it says that the mountain was shaking. Some people say it sounds almost like a volcano. There were sounds. There was sound of of thunder, right? Lightning doesn't make the sound. There was sound of thunder, and there was lightning, and there was a great shofar that was sounded. That's why that's in here. See that? And there's the lightning and the thunder and the shofar. And then there's a wonderful midrash, and I'm sure Rabbi Weinblatt knows the midrash. The midrash that says, when the Torah was given, not a sound was made. Not even the birds chirped. So see these birds right here? Listen. See, they're quiet. So that's why the birds are here. Then on the top, of course, it's meant to be shaped kind of like the Ten Commandments. And at the very top that could be seen as a flame, or what else does it look like? Out there?
Eyes.
Could be eyes, okay, good. Possibly. All right, anybody else? I'll give you a hint. Literally, what do you think?
A water drop?
Oh, could be a water drop. Okay, good. These are creative responses there. How about letters? Anybody see two letters up there? Good, two yuds. Yud, which would be Adonai, the name of God. So anyway, this ark kind of conveys what happened at Mount Sinai, which is what we read just last week, and the continuation of it this week. Comments, questions about that? Yeah, before I share the three short passages I wanted to teach.
Well, you said that B'nai Israel responded with Na'aseh v'Shma.
Right.
Which seems...
It should be the other way around. It means Na'aseh v'nishma means we will do and we will listen. And the rabbis say it should have been the other way around. Nu, tell us what's there, we'll hear it, we'll listen, and then, we'll accept it. So, but what they say is an act of faith. It was an act of faith that they said, we will accept, we will do it, and we will follow. Right? Unconditionally. Right. So that's why the response is like that. The rabbis pick up on that as well. So, with that then, so what is there that we find that's in this week's Torah portion? Well, one of the things tells us the following. Some of you who are here on Friday nights know sometimes I read that book. Wear Clean Underwear and Other Messages Your Parents Share with You and what it really means, and I try to explain that. So in this week's Torah portion, one of the things that we read is that it says the following. If a person shall open a pit, or if a person shall dig a pit and not cover it, and an ox or a donkey shall fall in it, the owner of the pit shall pay. Okay, so in other words, in this week's Torah portion, do we have any lawyers here tonight? I've got a couple. So one of the things is all of the laws of damages are found in this week's Torah portion. Not all, but many laws of damages are the basis of it. So what it's saying is that if someone digs a pit, somebody else falls into it, then you're responsible and you have to pay, and so on and so forth. But maybe we wonder, what is the actual message of that? And so listen to what Sefer Chinuch says about it. It says, the foundation of these laws pertaining to the mitzvah of damages is really teaching us the mitzvah of caring for your fellow man, of loving your fellow man. In other words, because if you care about others, you be careful then not to do anything that would cause damage or suffering to another person. And so part of what we think about is, yes, it's safety and so on and so forth, but what it's really teaching us on a broader level, on a deeper level, is to say you have to care about other people. And that's part of the message there. So that's number one. No, go ahead.
But that's so much through the Torah that it's written in a sort of negative way. Like, the ox falls in the hole, you're responsible.
Right.
But the message is really
Care for others.
Fellow man.
Okay.
Why does he say it?
Leviticus chapter 19, verse 20. V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. You shall love your fellow man as yourself. So it says it just didn't say it this week. It's there. It's just not in this week's Torah portion. So it's there. But a good point. In other words, and that's why it's not inconsistent. So it's said in both kind of ways. But I think part of what I'm trying to share is because we need laws in society. And what it's telling us is if something happens, there will be penalties, there will be consequences. Okay, so, but the underlying basis of that is the positive, absolutely. So I appreciate your mentioning that. Number one, number two, second. This one is very interesting because this one's definitely in the negative. Listen to this. It says, "Lo tiyeh ahare rabim le'raot." It says, "Do not go after the majority to do evil." So if everyone is intent on doing the wrong thing, then what are you going to do? It says, just don't go along with the majority if they're about to do something wrong. I think that's such a basic teaching of Judaism. And you're right. This perhaps could be stated positively. And for the positive flip of that, we turn to Pirkei Avot. And Pirkei Avot tells us the following, and that is, it says, "B'makom she'ein anashim," in a place where there are no men or no people, hishtadel liot ish. Strive to be a man, strive to be a person, strive to do the right thing. It's one of the verses I love teaching B'nai Mitzvah and confirmation class kids. So what this is telling us is, do not go after the majority to do evil. In other words, if you see everyone that is doing something that is wrong, you may say, oh, well, maybe it's not so wrong, everyone is doing it. And what Judaism tells us is, always have the courage to go against the grain. Always have the courage to be willing to do something different. Always understand, do not go after the majority to do evil in the negative way or the positive way. Strive to do the right thing when everyone else is doing something wrong. Last quick one, and that is that it tells us the following. Ki tifga shor ovecha, that if you happen to encounter your enemy's ox or his donkey, and it has gone astray, you shall repeatedly bring it back to him. Now, the thing that is there, it says, and it's emphasized. So what the point is here, it says, not just that you return it to him, but even if it wanders away over and over and over again, you can't say, oh my God, I already brought this back. So the whole thing there is our obligation that we have to return lost objects. Our obligation to go out of our way, even if it's repetitive. But the last thing I want to say about this is, there's a commentary from the Chofetz Chaim who says, you know what, it's not just talking about donkeys, and it's not just talking about oxes that have gone astray, or oxen that have gone astray, but rather it talks about people as well. And it's saying, don't give up on people. And that even if people have gone astray and they take the wrong path, still try and reach out to them as well. So, 3 teachings for this week's Torah, actually 4, I throw in an extra one about the ark, and we take the message to heart in terms of having courage to do the right thing, constantly being willing to help, whether it is to return something that is lost and or a lost soul, and finally to understand that our obligation to help others as well. So with that, let us turn to page 55. I invite you to please rise for the chanting of the Kiddush, and on page 55. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'avav ratzon inkilanu, zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom dechila l'mikrei kodesh, zecher l'tziat mitzrayim. Kivanu vakata, viotanu kidashta, mikomim, v'shabbat kadshecha, v'yahava uvratzon, inchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Amen. And on page 56. Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, latet gdula ve'otzer b'reishit, ve'lo samanu k'mishpechot ha'dama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, ve'goraleinu v'chol hamonam, anachnu korim ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. כשמיים ויוסר הארץ ומשה יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת זו בגובי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אלון Emet Malkeinu, Efes Ulato, Kat Katu, B'Torato, Yadata Yom, Yadata Yom, V'hashivota, Elevavecha, Ki Adonai, Hu Elohim, Bashamayim Yam, V'Yaharet, V'Yaharet, And so, God, we look forward to that time when the world shall be established and the world of the sovereign and the sovereignty of the Almighty shall be recognized. Kakatu b'toratecha, Adonai imloch leolam va'ed, v'ne'ema, v'haya Adonai, lemelech al kol haaretz, v'yom ha'u, Yeh Adonai echad, Ushemo echad. May be seated. On this Shabbat, our thoughts turn to our loved ones who are no longer here and yet who still are very much a part of our lives. During the coming week, we observe yahrzeits of Sidney Bergman, Holly Berman Fink, of Ethel Black, Jean Brunner, Florence Ann Buren, Ruth Cantor, Julius Enig, Nathan Benjamin Evans, Harry Fleischer, Marianne Foreman, Gail Glazer, Lester Grubman, Leonard Hendler, Lee Kay, Elsie Keene, Gertrude Kramer, Morris Krieger, Marian Cooperberg, Esther Kroll Lerner, Henry Mates, Richard Newberger, Bernice Paper, Barry Pomerantz, Nina Rachman Ivry, Solomon Sachs, Sheldon Shapiro, Diane Shapiro, Sally Stashower, Edie Strumpf, Fred Swartz, Sarah Swede, Laura Kim Swede, Albert Tanker, and Jonas Bernard Weiss. We also mourn the recent passing of Aaron Gerber, Rudy Ressler, and of Melvin Friedman. Zichronam livracha. May the memories of all of our loved ones be for a blessing. As we invite those who are reciting Kaddish to rise, we magnify and we sanctify God's holy name. Let us pray. Yitgadal v'yikadash shemei Rabbah. B'yama divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayei u'v'yomei chon u'v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael. Bagala v'zman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivorach leolam leomei omaya. Yiporach v'ishtabach v'pa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadara v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudusha b'reichu. Liela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata. Daviran v'yama v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya. V'chayim alenu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom v'imromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom alenu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the one who causes peace to reign in the heavens above cause peace to descend upon us, upon Israel, and upon all the world. And let us say, Amen. A couple of things I want to just point out to and remind everybody of, and that is that, as Darrell pointed out at the beginning, I want to urge and encourage everyone, please join us tomorrow morning when the Deputy Chief of Mission, the Deputy Ambassador from Turkey will be with us. First of all, Ido is going to speak about our Shaliach, about some of the efforts of Israel that have just been extraordinary during the Turkey earthquake operation, and then the ambassador will be here just to bring us an update, talking about the relief efforts and things like that. And you may have noticed we have a few things. The cloakroom is also full, by the way, with things as well, and so we'll be donating that. We won't give it to him tomorrow, but symbolically he will be able to receive them. And then also, in as much as this is a holiday weekend, Sunday, Monday, I'll be leading our confirmation class trip to New York, but I want you to know that Saturday night at 7:30 there is a play, The Witness for the Prosecution, and on Sunday at 2 p.m. We're here at the Agatha Christie's mystery called Witness for the Prosecution. I love Agatha Christie. If you like her come. It'll be set early night and Sunday. In fact, on Sunday, I believe, is when the B'nai Boomers, which a few of you were here this morning, this evening, qualify for. And then, please know that on the it's our empty nester group, and the following Sunday night, Sunday, February 26th, we have a very special program at 5 p.m., and that is, it's called Jews, Brisket, and Deli. A guy named Ted Merwin, who has written a book about Jewish delis, is going to speak. And in addition to that, he's going to speak about Jewish delis. In addition to that, Daryl Shapiro has brisket that he's already aged.
We're going to cook a brisket, we're going to serve it, and we're going to do a bit of a cooking class, and I'll give away all the family secrets.
Wow, unbelievable. Cool. And so that'll be next Sunday at 5 p.m. It should be fun.
His book is called Pastrami on Rye, and it chronicles the development of Jewish delis all around
I love that.
the nation.
Yeah.
You know, one of the other things we'll talk about is finding more and more similarities between the Jewish. How they're learning and style of cooking briskets and barbecue in the South.
Yeah.
The cheapest and the only cuts they could afford, kind of parallel the Jewish immigrants in the Northeast learning.
Wow, I did not know that. Cool.
It's the meat no one else wanted, so that's why we got it, and that's why they got it.
Ah.
We had to figure out ways to take this horrible muscle with very little fat and make it taste good.
Wow, fascinating. You look just a little preview of what was in for next week. Okay. Please know, by the way, on February 28th, Tuesday night, not this Tuesday, but the following one, Rabbi Werbin will be teaching a class called Jewish Customs of Mourning. An important one, I think everyone should take that, and that is to learn about the Jewish customs of Shiva and of Shloshim and of how we Jews deal with mourning, and so please come and join us for that. And then Purim's just around the corner. Before you know it, our Purim Carnival is coming up, Purim Fun with reading the Megillah and all kinds of fun, special stuff. So with that, and again, thank you, Rabbi Werbin, for helping and really coming through. Please, Bavakasha, of course. Can you come up here just because, you know, it is being... yeah.
Just before Shabbat started, I got a video about the chief... the head of the mission to Turkey from IDF, and he spoke to the press, and he told a story of a coin. Did you see that video?
No.
So he was showing a coin that was given, and he said this is a story of a coin, and he explained that there was a 9-year-old kid who was trapped in 2 floors down earth and in the earthquake, and everybody wanted the Israelis to go and rescue. They were calling all the time the Israelis. I mean, there were more than 40 nations, who sent rescue teams, but everybody wanted the Israeli team to go. And they asked, why do you want us? Because they said, because you know the language of love. That's what the Turkish people said to them. So, long story short, they're rescuing this 9 years old. There was a paramedic who was who was leading the operation, and the chief of the operation says, I know that paramedic. He had lost a daughter 2 years ago, and when it was a complicated rescue, when they rescued the kid, and a Turkish man approached and said, this coin is not a lot of money, but it's symbolic. When a woman gives birth, we give it to the woman. But if it's a very difficult delivery, we give it to the maid woman. What do you call it? The maid woman, the lady who helps, deliver. The midwife. Sorry, the midwife. Sorry I'm losing the language. Anyway, so I'm giving it to you because extracting the kid out of the rubble was like a birth. And he was showing, and this soldier lost his daughter 2 years ago and was able to give birth a new kid now. So it was, I got that video, and it was extremely moving to watch it and to hear. And it's the commander speaking about one of his soldiers, how they act there. So, unfortunately they had to leave early as you may know. But yes. So with that, yes, for sure, we'll hear from Ido, and we'll hear from the deputy from the embassy. Page 62, Igdal. יגדל אלוהים חי וישתבח, נמצא בעינת אל מציאותו, אחד בין יחיד כייחודו, וגם וגם אין סוף לאחדותו, אין לו דמות הגוף, באינו גוף, לא נערוך אליו קדושתו, קדמון לכל דבר אשר נברא, ראשון בין ראשית לראשיתו, הינו אדון עולם בכל נוצר, יורה גדולתו ומלכותו, שפע נבואתו נתנו, אל אנשי סגולתו ותפארתו, לא קם בישראל כמו שעוד נביא ומעמיד את אמונתו, תורת בן נתן לעמואל, על יד נביאו נאמן ביתו, לא יחליף האל ולא ימיר דתו לעולמים, לזולתו צופה ויודע סתרנו, מביא לסוף דבר בקדמתו, גומל לאיש חסד כמפעלו, נותן לרשע רע כרישתו, ישלח לקץ ימים משיחנו, לבדוק מחכה קץ ישועתו, מתים יחייאל ברוב חסדו, ברוך הדיין שם תהילתו, מתים יחייאל ברוב חסדו, ברוך הדיין שם תהילתו. Adonai Yos le'amo iten, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. May God bless God's people with the blessing of peace. Shabbat shalom u'mevorach.
Before you leave here, we'll say the motzi, but please say hello to somebody you don't know.